Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Avrin into Tea Review and 2. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to bring you 5 benefits of cold brew tea. And of course, while I'm talking about cold brew tea, I'm definitely going to be sipping some cold brew tea. I steeped this one for about 12 hours and that was a great amount of time for this tea right here. It is an elderflower oolong tea blend right here, and those flavors are so robust and luxurious. And this is day 3 for this cold brew, and I feel like it's even bolder, even more. The sweetness is coming out a little bit more and everything. It just flavors are really, oh. Okay, this isn't a review on this tea. This is 5 benefits of cold brew tea. Let's get into it here. Number 1, it's easy and convenient. So all you need really pretty much is a pitcher, a jar of some sort. I did this one in a pitcher, an infuser. I had an infuser in this one, which I put the tea in, water, tea, and a refrigerator. So, and then you don't have to have a infuser if you're using tea bags. If you're using tea bags, you just need a pitcher, a jar or something, the tea with the tea bags, water, and a refrigerator. So only a few things. Don't have to worry about the certain temperature of the water, steeping for too long or anything like that. You can pretty much just sit it in the refrigerator. And I actually have videos on this, how to cold brew loose leaf tea and how to cold brew tea bags. And I have the link down in the description and everything of how I cold brew loose leaf tea and how I cold brew tea bags. So, and you can experiment with the times and the tea to water ratio, and it's great. It's great. It's easy and convenient, like I said right there. It's definitely easy. Just a few things you need to get going, and you just put it in the fridge overnight, certain amount of time or anything like that, and let it be, and then take it out when you're ready. And convenient. It's convenient because, you know, okay, yeah, you're on the go, right, and everything, you're getting ready to go somewhere, you want tea, oh man, I gotta set the temperature, I gotta wait for it to get there, and I gotta wait for it to steep, and oh, but I have that cold brew tea in the refrigerator ready to go. Boom, there you go right there. You just get your tumbler, get whatever you're gonna get, your glass jar, however device, vessel you're gonna be on the go with, pour that cold brew in there and you're ready to go. You don't have to wait on the water to get to a certain temperature, steeping for a certain amount of time, or trying to steep it in your car, make it a mess or anything like that. I've done these things. It sounds right, definitely. So yeah, and there are tumblers that make, you know, steeping on the go more efficient and everything, for sure, and everything. And sometimes you might have those. It might be dirty. You may need to clean it. Oh, what? I've got cold brew tea in the fridge. Boom, right there. Very convenient, great for on the go. It's easy because of the process of making the cold brew, and it's convenient because it's just ready for you. It's just sitting there ready for you in the fridge. After it's steeped the amount of time you want it to steep and you've taken the leaves out, then it's just ready for you in the refrigerator. Number 2, taste. Typically there's going to be less astringency going on with the cold brew tea because there's no hot water to steep the tea to release those tannins that bring that astringency. Especially if you have a temperature of the water that's too hot, or you let the tea steep for too long, you're going to bring out that bitterness even more and everything. But you don't have to worry about that with cold brew tea. And also with the cold brew tea, sometimes it's more smoother. The natural sweetness of the tea is brought out more. Not in a sense where, hey, now it's a sweet tea because I cold brewed it. No, just the natural sweetness. It's still light with the sweetness it can be, but it's a little bit more coming at you in a smooth way, not in a way that's like, oh, there's sugar in this now and I cold brewed it. Nothing like that, not harsh anything, definitely smooth. Cold brew really smoothens out tea right there as far as the flavor notes, the profile of the tea itself, what you're picking up, that sweetness and everything. It's just the taste. Definitely gotta try tasting cold brew. Try the same tea hot and try it cold brew. Now you're gonna have some of the same flavor notes going on, but the smoothness and some of that sweetness is gonna be a little bit different. You might get different flavor notes out of the tea. It's definitely something to experiment with as far as like in your tea to water ratio and how long you're letting it steep for and everything like that. Really neat. Number 3, less caffeine. Typically in the cold brew tea, you're gonna have about half of the amount of caffeine than you would in the hot brew tea. Depending on, of course, your tea to water ratio, that could change things. But if you use more tea typically in a cold brew tea, so you may have more caffeine in that sense. But if you use the same amount of tea as you're doing with a cold brew and a hot tea that you're steeping hot, then you're gonna have less caffeine with that cold brew tea. Just the way that it's drawn out, the way that the caffeine is extracted and everything in the cold brew process, it releases less caffeine in the tea in the natural state. So you're gonna have less caffeine. You're trying to cut back on your caffeine or something, definitely start cold brewing tea. I mean, you'll still get that caffeine somewhat, but you're gonna get less of it than you would with a hot tea. And tea in general, of course, doesn't have a ton of caffeine compared to coffee. You know, that usually people think of caffeine, think of coffee, rightfully so, because coffee in general has much more caffeine than tea. So sometimes people try to cut back on caffeine by drinking tea, and that works, of course. And if you're trying to cut back on caffeine even more, or you're trying to cut back on caffeine and you're a tea drinker, cold brew tea, less caffeine. Number 4, health benefits. The antioxidants that are present when you steep a tea hot are still going to be there present when you steep it cold brew. So those beautiful, lovely free radical fighting antioxidants, polyphenols, all that good stuff right there, still going to be in the cold brew tea right there. And so you don't have to worry about, oh, now I'm steeping it different, I didn't use hot water, it's not extracting the way that it normally would. Those beautiful, lovely antioxidants are still going to be extracted. You're still going to get those benefits right there from those antioxidants in a cold brew like you would in a hot steep tea. And there's even been some studies stating that maybe there's more antioxidants, and also maybe there's more vitamin C. I'll put links down in the description for it and everything. I've been trying to do more reading on it. I don't want to say things precise, because I don't feel like there hasn't been enough studies of this so far, as far as like the nutritional benefit of cold brew versus hot, as far as like what's more and what's less, as far as like the vitamins and the antioxidants and everything. There's definitely been noted in studies saying the antioxidants are still there, they're still present, and that's great. Number 5, hydrating. Hydration. Yes, it's a cold brew tea, so it's going to be cold, of course. When it's ready for you in that refrigerator, it's going to be the temperature of your refrigerator. It's going to be cold. So if you're outside, you're working, it's hot, you're working out or something, you like tea, you want something to drink after you're done, boom, cold brew tea is ready for you to quench that thirst. And let me tell you, if you're a tea lover, tea enthusiast, you like tea, and you're hot, you're thirsty, and you quench that thirst with a cold tea, that's great right there. Let me tell you, I'll tell you from experience multiple times, multiple occasions, that is awesome. So it's definitely hydrating. And you might think like, okay, iced tea is hydrating. That is true as well. Iced tea is going to have that cold element, so it's going to be hydrating as well. Freshly made iced tea, though, isn't going to be as cold as cold brew. Because when you're making an iced tea, you're using hot water at first to steep the tea and everything, and then you're either pouring that tea over ice or inserting ice into that steeped tea. So it's going to be cooled down, that hotness, of course, with the ice. The ice is going to melt quickly, but it's going to turn to an iced tea right there. So yeah, that's going to be a fresh brewed iced tea, but that fresh brewed iced tea is not going to be as cold as a cold brew that's ready for you, just been sitting in the refrigerator. It only knows the cold. The cold brew tea doesn't know anything about hot. It's never been hot. It just knows the cold depths of your refrigerator. So that's what it's going to be right there. So in the temperature wise, a cold brew tea is going to be more hydrating, colder than an iced tea. Unless that iced tea, of course, has just been sitting in the refrigerator and it's been iced tea for a while. Then, of course, you're going to have about the same temperature and everything. Hydration. and that is it with the 5 benefits of cold brew tea. Hope you all enjoyed it. Enjoy that cup of tea you've got. Take care.